goals. I'm listening to other people's goals. I'm trying to get other people to reach their goals. So like I was like, bro, I can kill this class for you.
And sure enough,
And
the
I
impact you're making
did.
on these kids, like it's kind of insane to be like you came out of here and you're able to go back, and for whatever reason, I never thought like barbers don't like do it, you know, like you can just be like a barber at like a 4.0 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but you're fucking doing it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's inspiring for a lot of kids, and
Uh-huh.
like the impact you have, and not even kids, but other people.
I was at my first barbershop, and it was $5 and $10. Like I got a flyer that I shared in the class for the students, you know, and how I involved the game. But when I was at an InStyle barbershop, I would go to like grocery stores. I go to the mall, and there's kids that see, oh, mama, look, that's the barber, that's Mike the barber, like kids, and I'm just like, dang, like, and I wouldn't even like I was decent cutting hair then, you know, and I didn't have like the platform that I had now, and I was telling I preached this like back in 2011 and 2012. I was like, one day, barbers are going to be the new athletes.
It's a hell of a claim to make.
Barbers will be the new athletes.
Why?
Because just walking around, and when you see an athlete, like you're so lit, you want to take pictures, and I was like, these kids are looking up to me in a grocery store. Like, I just cut hair. Just cut hair.
Just quote unquote
just cut hair.
Right?
That's what people would say when I was a barber. You gonna cut hair? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go be a barber. Because when I was in barber school, I was in there in Houston at Texas Barber College. Well, everybody was there was felons. Damn near everybody. It was a last resort career for a lot of people. And I was like, you know what? Like, I love to do this. Like, you said you had went to school, and you was powerlifting and hanging out with all the guys and stuff. Well, when I went to football, it was the same thing. So I had to stay in an all males dorm at McMurray, and on the bottom floor, I would cut hair there all day long. And I had people from, if you're familiar with Abilene, I don't know if you are or not, but
really.
There's Abilene Christian, it's McMurray, and then it's Hardin Simmons.
Okay.
I had people from both of the other campuses in the dorm. Just I'm chopping up, cutting everybody, boom, 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 all day long.
I think there's three things that pop out of my head why you would have that. It's like the speed at which you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
the quality of work needs to go, and then your energy you can feel.
Yeah.
You're fucking moving.
Yeah, I always said, like, I put a post the other day. I said, it might not be exactly like this, but take your hobby seriously. One day it will pay off. Take your hobby seriously, and one day it will pay off. Everything that I've done is from a hobby. Like, when I was cutting hair, like, it was because I loved to do it. And I wasn't doing fades when I first started. I was just doing designs. I was like, you got a little bit of hair on your head right now, like on the side. Yeah. Bro, let me do a design. But we're like, all right, cool. And I'll talk them up to it. And I was like, let me do a design.
And
like,
so everyone's looking at that hair like, oh, where'd you get that?
Yeah. And then it was like, oh man, they think I'm doing the haircut and the design. And I'm just like, I'm just doing the design. My friends know I'm doing the design, but they don't know that I'm not cutting the hair. So I started, you know what? I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get the design money, the haircut money. Like, I'm gonna get it all.
And so was designing always going to be, like, do you guys go to barber battles? Like, was that always the goal?
Nah, my first barber battle was crazy. You know how, like, TikTok been out for a little while, but when I was a barber, like, it was MySpace, it was Facebook. Vine came out for a little bit in our career, but Instagram had just came out. So if you go through my Instagram, and a lot of people say, why don't you delete like some of your stuff? And I was like, nah, I want people to see. Like, you want to be nosy, just go look.
Hell yeah.
And I want people to see.
I like that.
Like where I came from. But if you look at my Facebook and my Instagram, my Instagram doesn't have really bad haircuts, because I was already cutting hair. And I got into the groove of, okay, these are good haircuts. But when Instagram came out, I didn't have, like, old haircuts. Like, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So when
You're only posting the updated you, right? And then it's just
the me now,
everyone just sees that and they're like, man, this guy is just
already good.
Yeah, already good.
He's already good. And then so I went to this barber battle. I went to this barber class. It was Pacino's class, and I went to Joe Barber's class. Joe Barber was Pacino's, and he launched an app, and he went on tour. So it was Pacino's, and his guest was Mark the Barber and Joe Barber. And from there is when I learned about a barber battle. And it was called a Hair Palooza. It was Joe the Barber and Eric Zuniga.
What kind of tour are they doing?
They're launching an app before anybody, like a how-to haircut app. And now that app, Pacino's now is I can say, what are you into, like powerlifting?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say like the top dog in powerlifting. He's got his own line. He's probably got his own his clothing line. Maybe if he has his own weights,
training programs,
everything. That's what Pacino's has.
And is it good quality, like good clippers and stuff like it, like the best kind of stuff?
Man, it's the top dogs and it was the top dogs at the time in the industry. So it's just like any other. What he did was he scaled the market. And when he scaled the market, he was like, everybody's using their phone. Like, how can I get paid off this phone? And he had a good team of people around him. Just his friends are his managers. And so it's like, when he scaled the market, he created a need, not a want. He created a need for people, dang, how to haircut videos, taper, mohawk, design, portrait, everything you can think of.
How did you learn?
Cutting on my cousins,
trial and error,
proving people wrong that I really did that fade when I didn't do that fade. Yeah, that's how I learned. Like you
didn't have no YouTube.
No, it wasn't out like that. No, there was one. There was one barber on YouTube. It's called Kaken the Barber. But to go back and look at his videos now, they're not hitting like how we thought they was back in the day. Like them cuts. They're not hitting like they was back in. It was Kaken the Barber. He was cutting in his garage, and then you had Rick the Barber, where he had a toothbrush as his brush,
toothbrush as the brush.
Mm-hmm. So how you got a barber and he's brushing your hair.
Yeah.
He had a toothbrush. He used to use a toothbrush.
Damn.
So everybody knows Rick from his toothbrush, but Rick he's a business mogul. He took barbering. And then he used his barbering to fund his other vision, which is commercial real estate. Yeah, and he works for Wall. He works for Wall, the clipper company.
WAHL.
So the Wall clipper company.
Yeah.
And he travels the world for Wall, just teaching people how to cut and just business stuff. He's got a thing called Motivational Mondays, and he drops gems on that.
You're on the way. Who's Jim?
Gems, like he drops like knowledge,
gems.
like gems.
Okay.
Yeah.
The speed, you're just fucking. You are doing that thing though. Like you're on the way to building your own. You're a business mogul.
Yeah.
I mean, what you said earlier, in town you have 6 barbershops,
mm-hmm.
and then a food truck.
Yeah. We're just launching it. It's called Winging It.
I like it.
It's the wings, burgers, and tenders, like what we used to cook at our restaurant. But we rent it out. So right now we're in the process. We're going to rent it out, our restaurant. So it's still halftime. We got a manager working for us right now, but we're going to rent out our spot. And I took our kitchen appliances and I put them in our food truck. I bought the food truck because we was going to use it because our business our business was booming before COVID hit. Business was booming. We have the best wings in the city. Man, but it just wasn't out there yet. It wasn't just out there yet. It was like people who knew us came, but then when COVID hit, it was just like a lot of businesses stopped.
Yeah.
And then so we didn't push the food truck. We focused on the storefront. You focus on the building, and then we got the opportunity to purchase everything, and we bought the land. The building, the land, we own everything in there. So it was like, dang, like, one of my business partners, his business picked up in Cuero. He's into like construction, drywall, sheetrock and stuff.
You have to be surrounded by a hell of a community. Like the people that you are like that are.
I think I'm a hell of a motivator because I make them do something. Like there's a lot of people that's been around me, but they're not around me no more. There's a lot of family that's been around me, but it's not around me no more. Because like you have to bring something to the table because we're all growing, you know, and it's like I just want you to be successful for yourself, not for me, because I'm gonna do my thing regardless. Just bring something to the table because, like, for instance, if we go out to a place like my goal now is not to travel the U.S., it's to travel the world. So I want to do that with my partners. I want to do that with my friends. But
Man,
not,
that's the life.
you
And
know,
that's making it.
that's when people say you made it. Okay, well, what's making it for you? Like that's what I tell people. Like, what's making it for you? Because you see, you say I made it, but I haven't even done what I wanted to do. But that's what I was saying earlier. Is like people come from different aspects of life. It's like if you got a family who had to leave Mexico and had to come here and start a new life. You like for them, like making it is being a server in a restaurant. For some people like that, and that's for them. That's they're making it.
Yeah.
And then some people it's like, okay, well, like you said, buying a house. That's your vision of making it. I've bought a house, and that was okay. I made it. But then these hands get to going and this mind gets to flowing, and it's like, okay, well, I want something. I want to do something more now.
Build something. It's
So
you can appreciate the fact that you've made an accomplishment, but it doesn't stop there. Like,
yeah,
if that was it, then what else you got going on?
because if you think of it like how the U.S. is working now, and then like so, let's say so if you make 725, like how the U.S. is in debt and how our money's depreciating. So if you make 725, you really make $7 because of how it's set up.
Yeah.
Because the value of it's not. It's like it's not 725 no more.
Yeah.
So if you get stuck in that life and you're content, like yeah, I got a nice house, businesses and stuff coming in, but when the market is fluctuating and keeps going up and you're staying the same, you're going to be back at the bottom
quickly.
So it's like, okay, well, this was good, and like I've cherished it, I love it, but now we got to go back to work. And that's the mindset. We always got to go back to work until you have enough forms of income coming in. You don't have to look at your bank account, or like, okay, this is doing this and this a month, because I never got a business loan. Like I never had to do that. So everything that you see me doing is from my pocket, from me cutting hair, like from a line of credit. I went to a big bank, got denied. I went to a small bank, and they helped me grow with just a line of credit, not giving no big loans out. Interest rate is based off of whatever amount is in the bank at the time. Like let's say if it's a $75,000 line of credit, and I pay it down to 15, well, I still have the rest of that 60,000 to borrow from. If you get a loan, you're paying interest on that 70,000. No matter if you already knocked it down to 20,000, you're still paying interest on that 75,000.
All right, go over that one more time because I am definitely interested in this. So if I pull a line of credit from a bank, and
you have to have collateral. Like you have to,
right?
Or something like that.
How did you find out? Like who guided you down this, or did you just call a bank and be like, "Yo, what do I do?"
Because I got told no so many times. I was like, damn, like us being trying to be entrepreneurs, us being, trying to make it, and then we're not educated, and then so you go to a bank, and they tell you no, and it's like, damn, like, well, why no? Okay, you need this, and this. So they give you information. And then even if you do it sometimes, like, it depending on what bank you're at, like, you're just not always guaranteed. So I was like, dang, like, I'm bringing all this money in to this bank for you guys, all this credit card processing, and you're telling me no? So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to take my stuff and I'm going to go somewhere else. I had a conversation with my dad, and I was telling him, like, man, I was telling him what happened with the bank and this and that because, I couldn't be like, hey, Dad, let me get $100,000. I want to open a business.
Yeah.
Don't got it.
It's not there.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I had to get it on my own. So I had to start learning. And then he had knowledge, because that's one thing that nobody can ever take away from you is knowledge. He had knowledge, but he didn't have the funds. He had relationships that he built over time by being an honest man. So he said, well, you know what? Go talk to Randall. Go talk to Randall at the bank. Go talk to Randall at Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank is a small bank. Like they're closed at 3:00. They're not open on the weekend. They don't have Zelle. It's like you have to call them and like, hey, like, can you set up my pay? Can you set my PayPal up? Because they don't have that stuff. They don't have Venmo. Like,
It's a small bank.
It's small bank, but the relationship that you can build with them, like a small bank, it's crazy because like I went to BB&T one time to get a $5,000 loan when they were pulling $3,200 a month in credit card fees. They were doing like the credit card fees, and then we also were depositing money into the bank. So I had more in the account than 5,000, but I started wanting to build a line like business credit, because that's what they said. Start building credit, and on that paper that when they told me no, so I'm trying to do it. Got told no. Well, I went to Citizens, 5,000. He's asking for a few papers. Ran the credit, gave it to me in 2 days, and I was like, dang, that's it. This easy, like, and I was like, man, like, and then so
2 things I want to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you find the place that's going to fit you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, if they keep on telling you no, you just like, all right, well, there's somewhere else. And I
Yeah.
think that a lot of times it's so easy to think, oh, they said no, that means all banks are going to say no, so why even try, right?
Yeah.
I need to just figure it out and do what they said, and then try again in 6 months. It's like, no. Go try in 3 days or 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, like
somewhere
go
else.
figure it out.
Yeah.
There's a bank out there that's willing to take a chance, and that to me is insane. The second thing was, you said now there's friends and there's family that are no longer around.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that energy, like you got to provide, you got to put value,
Mm-hmm.
like you got to be on the up.
Yeah.
I think that energy and that idea is really intimidating for a lot of people because it's so challenging.
Yeah.
But it's the right. I think like I feel that it's so easy for the other individual to say no, like slow down, it's okay, stop it. Like, why are you trying so hard?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the valley they say that it's a bucket of crabs, right? The valley's like a bucket of crabs. If you crabs are gonna climb and climb and climb. Once one gets to the very top, one of them's gonna pull them down. So the crabs never get out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are people, just like there's a bank,
Yeah.
that's gonna accept you and help you move forward. There's friends that are gonna have that conversation and be like, hey, you got to get your shit together, or hey, how can I help? Right?
Yes.
Like you got to find your community.
And that's like when there was a head coach here at Texas A&M. His name was Kevin Sumlin. We became really, really good friends. We became boys, and I was just like, the conversations we were having wasn't conversations I was having with my friends. So I started conversating with him, and then his friends. I listened to conversations that they were having, and then so when you hang around 4 successful people, you become the 5th, right? And then so the opportunities that I was getting by being in that room that I was in with those individuals, it started rubbing off on me. So my mindset and our conversations when hanging out with the boys and stuff started changing. It was like, no, we need to do this. We can do this, but we need to do these little things first in order to get to this level, and then get to this level and this level. So it was just like how those guys were living life and having a good time. I said, I want to do that with my friends one day. People that I came up with. Not people that came in to my life after I made it. No, it's like, no, I'm so hard on some of my friends because it's like they need to step it up. And it's like if nobody else is telling them, then I'm going to be the one that's going to tell them, and we got to do it like this.
I think the fact that you're so comfortable saying something about it is really cool, because I don't think, I think a lot of times you'll have friends that are like, hey man, you think he's okay? Like, you think we should talk to him? Mm-hmm. But you're like, hey, yo, what's going on?
Let me holler at you real quick.
You approach it head on, man. Mm-hmm. And it's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's you're comfortable in being who you are.
The real. I'm real. Like people try to paint a picture of me that like that I'm not. You gotta know me. You gotta know me, and then you gotta see me for yourself because there's so many people that don't. There's so many people in this community that don't want to see a young, successful person come up. Doesn't even have to be me. Like I'm not even talking about me in general. There's so many older people who are stuck in their ways that they don't want to see that change, or that those younger people come up that they start trying to paint a picture of bad people. Like I've been in rooms where I was like, no, that's not even that individual who you're talking about. Like he's not that person, but they're painting it
Damn.
to somebody else. And then that's probably the same talk about me in a room with some other people. And I was like,
Damn.
just see it for yourself first, right? Because at the end of the day, I would treat everybody the same until you burn the bridge. But then when you burn the bridge, then hey, yeah, I'm that person that you said I am, like, cause I don't fool with you no more. But at the same time too, it's like if you're coming around me, or if I see that you're not meeting your maximum potential, I'm gonna let you know. And it might hurt your feelings, and I might be the asshole when you're around me. But the moment that you burn that bridge and you get to sitting there thinking like, damn, like I really appreciate that man for doing this or saying this or doing that, because it was people who burned bridges and they hit me up and apologize and be like, man, I'm in your shoes now, and I really appreciate for the stuff that you done for me. And I'm saying, okay, cool. Like I tell them to chop it up, whatever, whatever. But I don't bring them still back around me because cool, thank you, appreciate you apologizing. Wish you success. And glad you feel that way. It's tough being a business owner. This, and that. But my circle is still my circle now. You can't come back.
Once you're out, you're done. You always been like that?
Nah. But since you ran a business, like, and I'm being like this, yeah, because once, like, for instance, like, just say if an employee leaves a business, right? Well, you left that business, but now I got to focus on these other people that are still with the business because these people are taking care of me. So my focus is making sure I take care of them. I can't be
I see what you're saying.
worried about somebody else who's not with us no more.
You got to put your energy into the people that are giving you
That's here.
energy.
I got to do that here because that's me. Like, I built this business. I sacrificed a lot for this business. You know, it was tough being a barber when I came up. And like I said, it was a last resort. People said, oh, you're going to cut hair. It was a time I worked in a barbershop. I got the picture. I worked at InStyle. People will probably know me for that. Only Hispanic in the shop, 4 black guys. Oh, probably 30 and up. Maybe the youngest 28 at the time. And I got a picture. I'll send you the picture later.
Please do.
Bro, you're gonna laugh at it because I'm like young. I'm young, bro. Like look like a kid compared to these guys. And it was an era where George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin. So being only Hispanic in the shop, people say this guys say this to girls now. Oh, can she cut our hair? Imagine when guys were saying, oh, can he cut our hair? Oh, you can't cut our hair. Or this, and that. Lucky that my cousins was mixed. That I was able to cut them on Fridays and Saturdays when it was busy. Like, oh shit, this man can cut. So when the other barbers started slacking or it was coming to work late and this and that, like even though I never had nobody in my chair at 8 o'clock, I was still there by 7:45. I learned from AC. He was there early all the time, on time. And he was like, man, he's busy all day long. And he's cutting Hispanics, he's cutting blacks, he's cutting whites, he's cutting everybody. But then it's a black barber doing that, and I was like, I want to do that one day. That's what I want to do.
Doesn't matter who you are, I just wanted to cut hair.
I just wanted to express myself and see other people, show other people that what the value was, like how great of a haircut it is, doesn't matter your race. And then it was tough because like when people say they got it out the mud, like in the barber career, like I really got it out the mud. Like,
why is being Mexican in being a barber
no,
hard?
well, no, because sometimes it is because people say, oh, well, you can't cut black people's hair because there's not that many barbers at the time in the community that you think you go to barbershops back in the day and they say, can I get a fade? Oh, we don't do fades here. And so nobody's really doing them. So when I'm in a black barber, the only Hispanic in a black barbershop, their first mindset was, no, he can't cut our hair. And then when George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin, it was kind of segregated again. Like people wasn't rocking with Mexicans at that time, and then so that was tough too. And then so it's like, you think of going to the barbershop, you're joking, you're having fun, you're jiving back and forth, picking on each other. But then when I get into it, or like if I'm picking with somebody or whatever, people was ready to fight. They were trying to fight me because I said something like. But then the barbers that was there, like Big Terry, like would kill it. AC was like, no, you good. And then Jamie O, the barber next to me, it was always like, oh no, like, but he's one of us, like they putting a stamp on it, like he's good.
You got
like,
some respect.
Yeah.
So how did you meet that group?
Oh man, I used to play flag football, and I used to be in Pop Warner, and then so Terry Ford was actually one of the coaches out there, and then so I knew Terry just from coming up and out there playing sports, and Terry, he still coaches the kids stuff now. Big T, we call him Big T. Yeah, Big Terry Ford.
Big T, he still cut?
Yeah, he's got his own barbershop. I think it's in either Temple area or Killeen. And then AC has his own barbershop. It's called Elegance. It's on South College, and then now Jamie O actually owns the N Style Barbershop. Yeah, so it's great to see like people that I was around like still doing what they love, barbering.
You got over a decade of experience. Like,
Yeah.
You've seen a hell of a lot in the industry, and the fact that you've been so disciplined, and I can't imagine how many heads you've cut.
Crazy amount. It was crazy. The reason why I opened my own shop is because I went from that barbershop. I took the good. I left the bad. I went to a hair salon. I took the good. I left out the bad, but I was booked out I was booked out so much, people couldn't even get in with me. Like, it was like almost like 3 months in advance. Like you had a book, or you had to have a reoccurring appointment.
Damn.
And I would set people up on a reoccurring appointment because when I was in school, I was thinking like, dang, like how Pacino's launched that app. Like I was scaling the market. Like I was reading the book because I always tell people like, I believe history repeats itself. So think about it. In chapter 1, barbering is one of the oldest professions in history.
Sure is.
Next to prostitution. Prostitution has been around a long time. Barbering is one of the oldest. Right? Yeah, barbering is one of the oldest professions in history. So I tell people all the time, it's like before we were barbers, we were barber surgeons. We were doctors. We were dentists. The barber pole symbolized us being doctors performing surgeries. The red is the blood. The white is the veins. The blue. The white is the bandages. The blue is the veins. And the barber pole. So when you go to the barber pole. So when you go to get your blood drawn, if they can't find an IV, they start giving you the squeeze.
Yeah.
So the pole was when you squeeze the pole to create the blood, and then they put the pole outside, and then while they were doing bloodletting, the bandages that were red from the blood, they'll hang them on the pole, and in the wind they start wrapping around the pole.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I was thinking like, damn.
Wow.
When I left Insta, I want to be respected. I want to be known for what we are. Like people would tell me barbering was a last resort career, and I was like, nah, we was professionals back in the day. So like, how can I restore that? So I was like, okay. So I went from Insta, I went to Funky Chevaux. I said I want to be more professional, so I want to do appointments. Doctors was doing appointments. Why can't I do appointments? And when you go to the dentist, they was booking you on a reoccurring appointment. I said, well, the dentists are doing it. Why can't I do it?
I love the mindset.
So I created Mike's Barber Studio. It was called this, the convenience of the service, when I was at Funky Chevaux, because you had to have a mission statement if you're setting a goal. So my mission statement was convenience of the service. But when I opened up my own barbershop, it was called No Wait Barbershop. It's just like, oh, what's no wait? Like, yeah. Everybody used to being there, sitting there all day long in the barbershop.
I remember back in the day, we go to one guy's house and you just sit on this couch and they're playing jams and you're just waiting like 2 hours. And
it was like, first No Wait Barbershop. Oh, what is that? And then Mike's Barber Studio. We had it jumping.
So one more time, the names that you went through.
I went to InStyle Barbershop on Texas Avenue. I left there. I went to Funky Chavo, which is owned by Priscilla Flores, and we're still great friends. I actually helped her with a haircut today. Well, I didn't do the haircut. I just talked her through it.
Nice.
And then she comes to the barber school. And then I opened up Mike's Barber Studio, a little bitty shop, like 700 square foot. 700 square foot shop. It was 4 barbers in there. It was me, John Balboa, Jose Garcia, and it was Robert Galindo, and it was Gabe Ojeda. And then Robert left, Gabe joined the team. Then I ended up hiring Holly, Lex, Marisol. I had Clementine, and then I had Julio Colocho. They're all at that shop, little shop. We had to leave. We got that big 2,500 square foot shop.
And you guys have been there ever since. Wait, the one off of University?
Yes, the one we were behind the Fox and Hound. So where that development is now it's a little spot, right there behind where it was Fox and Hound. But now we're on a big spot in University, 2,500 square foot shop.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you were trying to give a description. Now, you used to be behind Fox and Hound, and then you moved over into this.
There's the big shop,
whatever.
2,500 square foot shop, 21 barbers. Yeah.
That's a shit ton of barbers. And
Yeah.
You guys are always bumping. Like, that's one thing that I noticed when I first got cut there. I was like, this is different than anywhere else I've ever been. Like, the jams are similar, but, like, there was a level of professionalism that was like, this is different.
So what I did, I took, like, think about it when I was at Funky Chavo. I was the only man and I was the only guy in the barbershop. I mean, in the hair salon. But I was in the back corner, had my barber station set up. The reason why I moved there was because I wanted to do appointments, and that was the only place in the city that like did appointments. That would allow a guy to work with girls.
Yeah.
So they gave me the opportunity. We had a nice looking receptionist. So think about it: if somebody's checking you out, she says, "Oh, you want to tip your barber?" and you tell her no. Like you probably was gonna hit on her. You was probably gonna hit on her, Or so it's like you want to tip your barber, and if you tell her no, then it's like, oh yeah. How much was the cut? Oh yeah. Leave him 10, leave him 20. So when I was there, like my tips was like crazy, and then I was like, man, you know what? I love that. Let me put that in my business. When I was at Install, I had like people that had like a lot of money, wads of money pulling out. And, our haircuts was like 15, 18. I do the most for 18. Guys pull all this money out, pull it in your face, and it's like, okay, give you $20 bill. And they stand there and waiting for their $2 back.
Damn.
And I was like, no, this is not for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's different.
But new barbers don't have to experience that because I cut that out with how I built this business.
You guys are also a little bit pricier, right? I mean, I don't know if it's different between other people, but when I first, back home, it was like $10, $15 a cut. I got here and it was like 10, 20, 25. And then I made my first bump with Jeff and it was 40. But I sat in that chair and I was like, oh, all day.
40 all day, right?
All day.
So remember when I started, it was 5 and 10, and then it was like 8 and 12, 15, 18. Then I left InStyle. I was like, I told them the vision before because we were going to start a barbershop called ATM, AC Big T. So it was like perfect setup, bro. It was like so it was AC. His name is Anthony Cloud. Says AC the barber, and then we call him Big T.
Big T.
So Big T, and then Mike. So
Dude,
we were going to start a
good.
barbershop called ATM. And then you're in College Station, Bryan College Station, where A&M's at. So it was like the perfect setup, bro. And then I was like, we need to do appointments. And they was like, nah, like, bro, we got the price to where it is now. Like, we good. Like, don't fuck it up for us. And I was like, I want more.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go from...
And
if we do this, like, think about everybody else is finna do this. And then we need to do this. We need to be ahead, not behind. So I was like, bro, like we need to keep leading because if we're not, then we're going to be following. And I said, let's keep going. Like, let's just keep setting the bar, setting the bar, setting the bar. And it's like but you think about it, when somebody is content, like, and they get that next level, that's where that's their being
They're
the server in the shop.
they're
That's
made
their
it.
making it,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like, okay, well, if that's your making it, well, that's not my making it. I'm still young. I'm still hungry. I'm just barely tapping into this. Like, and that's a 2 years in, and I'm like, bro, like, where can this take me? Like, 2 years
That's
in,
2 years in.
2 years in, I was only at InStyle for 2 years, and I was at Funky Chevaux for a year and 4 months,
Damn.
and then I did my own thing.
Not very long. Like it's still pretty fast.
It's fast because I was booked out 3 months in advance. People said I needed to clone myself, or hey man, who else can I get a cut from? See, John wasn't in the city at that time. It was Jeff, Jarrell, Joe, and people used to try to like make it a competition, and I would always hear like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Like for the better cut or for
Man, they were just always people. You know how people are, you
Yeah.
know. And I never just bought into it. I was, I wasn't like, oh, I'm better than them, or I'm better. Like, I was like, nah. Like, I was, because I was raised not to go looking for trouble. You know, if trouble finds you, take care of it, but don't go looking for trouble. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, people would say what they wanted to say, but I'm like, hey, like, you chose your barber and you're here. Like, I didn't call you and be like, hey, I got an opening this week. Can you come for this cut? You know, so it's like, hey, like, you choose who you want to go to. Like, I'm not into all that politics and stuff like that.
is there shit like that exists?
Oh, shit, bro.
Really?
Think
How
about it.
have
There's barbershops in the city that's having meetings not to talk about me in a barbershop because they were trying to pay me to be the bad guy.
That's some weird shit. I would have never
Some weird
guessed.
ass shit. Bro, it's crazy. Like, that's a whole story of its own. But I just most of my stuff that I've done in my career is making people eat their words, because when you telling me I can't do this, or I'm a desperate ass pussy, or whatever you calling me on social media, and you're putting on your Snapchat and stuff, like, I'm not gonna say nothing back. Like, cool. That's just you just putting gas on a fire, because I'm still early. I'm young in this career, and I'm hungry, you know. And I only been doing this. They say you grind in your 20s, you build in your 30s, and you relax in your 40s. Well, damn, look where I'm at, and I'm 31. You get what I'm saying?
You're killing it.
Because I got goals, and that I'm reaching, and that I'm working towards. I don't get up in the morning and be like, damn, like, I got to go to work. Like, I get up in the morning like, damn, like, check this off the list yesterday. Let's knock this one off the list today, type stuff. Like,
What are you like? Do you write your goals down? Are you writing
yeah,
them down?
yeah, you got to write them down, because if you don't write it, like I say, if you don't write it down and stick to it, a dream will always be a dream. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, like, you put together that ring light, you don't know how to put together. So what are you gonna do?
Figure it out.
No, you're gonna read those. You're gonna look at them instructions, and it's gonna tell you first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step.
Yeah.
You know, we're programmed in this world to just think like a certain way, but when you start reading, you start figuring out, because when you read it, you it's like instilled in your brain. But when you listen, how many times somebody really listening? Because I wasn't listening when I was growing up, so I started reading a little bit, and then so my notes are filled. My phone is filled with notes.
Do you do voice memos, or are you writing
I type it up. I do points. Like, I do points. Like, I got to get this done, and I got to get this done. But I do points. Like, I don't write it out, or I don't do a voice. Well, I did. We do like recently. I started doing voice memos, but I just learned that. Like, I just figured that out in the phone.
Yeah. So are your points, are they done in succession? Like, you need to get A before B, B before C, C before D, or are you just putting out all
Before it was like that. But now it's like points, and I just gotta kind of like elaborate. I feel like, even if like me and Jeff was in we went to go see DJ Stein at on third floor, and I was like, bro, and we was just sitting there and we was looking at this video, And I was like, bro, think about this. Look, check this out. I said, and we put these in our notes. He was like, bro, put it in your notes now. Like, put that in your notes right now. And I was like, bro, and then so we're going to run this advertisement in our shop. Like, we're already working on it. So if y'all still cool, we're already working on it. So watch this. So think about it. Like, bro, it's a music video playing. No, it's a video advertising that bar playing a song over it. It's just boom. It's just their advertisement video. Whoever shot it did a hell of a job because it's like it's like a dope video. I said, look, I said we be playing music in the shop. I said, you're a DJ, Stein's a DJ. I said, y'all can put an hour mix together, and we run it like 3 times a day. I said, but we can go to local businesses and be like, hey, because we got a team of people now. Like Joe can go shoot the video. You or Stein can put the song on it, and then so the advertisement is video advertisement all day long. From whether we're not listening to that mix or whether we're listening to the mix, it's advertising your podcast. You know, it's when it airs, whatever you want to say about it. Like you and Joe work together, and y'all figure that out. But how we're going to do it is we're going to sign people up. Because I've been doing advertisement since I've been opening this business, and people have been tying, now, before it was month to month, but now people are tying you into a contract. Oh, it's 6 months. Oh, it's a year. Oh, it's 3 months. All right, I'm been learning. So I'm doing the same thing now. So I said, okay, well, check this out. We're going to run this video, and it's advertise whatever you want, and it's going to be played in the barbershop. So what are you doing when you're in the barbershop? You're pretty much looking at the TV.
I don't know, man.
Or you're looking around the barbershop.
Jeff just puts me to sleep. I'm just laying there fucking out, dude. Yeah. It's a massage. But yeah, no.
But some people, if we have to wait a little bit, you're watching the TVs, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're running advertisement of whoever's business who wants to be on it. And we're putting even if they have a song that they want to put like hey, my favorite song is, you know, whatever song you like, you know, Nonstop by Drake, oh, yeah. So you put that on there. Right, we'll put the DJs mixing together, and it's just like because that video was just playing, and then people are intrigued. I'll be like, "Damn, that's nice, this and that," and I can run you, and I can give you a deal for one shop, or I can give you a deal for
all the shops,
6 shops or 8 shops, depending on what you want to pay. I can put you in the mall, I can put you in Navasota, I can put you in Caldwell, San Antonio, and in the Brazos Valley.
Damn.
But it's all depending on what you want to pay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the more places, the more,
exposure that your business is going to get.
Exactly.
And I have my barbershop is filled up with business cards, but I was like, man, like I always like to declutter, but I don't like throwing people's stuff away because they spend money on it. But I'm like, dang, like sometimes I don't like how that looks. So I'm like, hey, let's work on putting it up here.
You can look a little messy, but that digital platform, it's growing insane.
And you can put your QR code on it or whatever you want. Like you and Joe work together. Y'all do the video. He gets the vision because he's a visionary too, and he's how he's going to shoot it and make it pop. Like he's going to do his thing.
Is Joe a barber?
Yeah, Joe Lewis.
Joe Lewis.
He's the one with the glasses in the back right corner.
Okay, yeah.
That's Joe Lewis.
Never talked to him before.
Yeah.
He always has that hair painted or
Mm-hmm.
color?
Yeah.
Okay,
like ball fade.
Yeah.
That's Joe Lewis. And but everybody that's on my team, like I say, they do something that's an asset to the business, and that's why the business has grown. But we didn't always have 6 shops, and we always didn't have 21 chairs, like 21 barbers. Like you talked earlier about price. You said, until you met Joe, the price was that. You said you guys are kind of high. Well, we always had the best. We always had the best barbers in the shop. Whether it was the 4 of us at Mike's, and then we all grew up together as a team at Mike's. But before I changed it to Goldstar, like you can go up the street in Northgate and get a haircut, and that $30 haircut wasn't like our $30 haircut. Yeah. It was like, oh damn, like. And when people raise the price, this is why I tell people it hurts the industry, but it helps the community. Because people's vision was like, damn, like that barbers don't cut good enough to be charging $30 until you met this barber or until you met these barbers. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like this $30 haircut worth the $10 tip.
Every time. Hell yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It does. Yeah.
So before we had 21 chairs, but we only had 11 people rocking, and then we had 12, 13, 15 for a long time. It wasn't until around COVID, maybe 2019, I think, till we had 21 barbers.
It's a lot of barbers to have. I mean, that's a lot of barbers to manage.
Tell me, like, it's crazy because to manage, you just said it because I was going to say that. It's to manage because there's people that are great at what they do, but then there's people that are great at what they do, but they can do more.
And you see, the thing that is cool is that you give space for it.
Yeah.
That is what I think sets y'all apart.
Mm-hmm.
You give people their space to do their thing comfortably. And if you see something that you know they could do,
yeah, I'm going to tell them to do it.
Call them out. Like, you're candid. Like,
bro, it's crazy. Like, so I was in we went to a bar battle in Connecticut, and there was a guy I was looking, because before barber battles, like, we would always talk shit before to each other, like on social media. Like, we're back and forth. Like, I'm talking shit to A-Rod and Marcus Hatch and Papito, because they're like characters and we're competing, and we're talking shit to people, but it's all love. It's all friends stuff, you know? And then, so when you go to these shows, it's like, damn, he's about to do the same shit we're finna do. Bro, we gotta up it like this. So I tell my boy Rob, because he was my model at the time, I said, bro, you gonna learn how to break dance. He was like, when? I said, right now. Like, we was like, bro, it's the night before the battle. Like, we're in Connecticut. I said, you finna move these beds. Are you gonna learn how to DJ? And it was just like that. It's like that, like, cause it was thinking stuff on the go. And it's like, damn, bro, like, I think I can do it. And when you think they can do it, then we gonna do it.
You're bringing added value, and you're helping other people see value in themselves that they did not know existed.
Yeah.
Rather than taking it away to make yourself feel good.
And that's what I said. People gotta know me for me, not for what somebody is trying to paint a picture of me. Like, because at the end of the day, like, I don't need you around me, but I want you to around me. But you gotta bring something to the table. Cause I'm good. Like, I cook out all the time. I invite everybody over, like my friends, they family, everything. And I cook, and it's like times when we cook and we don't say, hey, everybody pitch in $20 for food, and I'm gonna do this. Like, nah, what do we need to bring? Just bring what you're gonna drink. That's it. We got everything else.
Bring yourself.
It's it. That's it. And we have a good time. It's just like, it's all love between everybody. And that's the greatest thing, because when you put those people around you, like, people say, man, how you, if I was in your shoes, I'd be stressing. I'd be like, I don't.
You got a community. You got people around you.
I got a great support system with my wife and my kids and my family, my mom and my dad. Like, everybody that's around me, even my in-laws, like, you know, it's everybody supports what we do. So it's like, okay, well, fuck, we had a bad day. Fuck it, like, tomorrow we're gonna make it a good day. Like, we're not gonna dwell on the past. Like, we're just gonna keep moving forward. So when you sit there and you think like, damn, like, when you let it eat you up, it's gonna eat you up.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, like, fuck it, we're gonna kill it tomorrow.
Break through those barriers. Don't
break through them.
Don't let those. I was just having a conversation earlier. Do you know Luis Cristerna?
Luis Cristerna. I'm bad with names, but if I see a face.
Yeah. So he was at Tucker Construction, and then he moved over to.
Oh, I probably know him. Tucker Construction.
Good guy. I mean, just fucking like an animal of a human who's just like, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And the thing that he said that I loved was, today's a character building day, and I was like, it's not a bad day. It's just a character building day.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just, that's exactly what it is. And you're not dwelling on it. You're moving forward. You're looking at the next day, the next opportunity, and how are we going to figure it out?
Yeah.
All right? If this is what you really want, if you really want to do this thing, then go figure it out.
Yeah.
There's people there that you can ask people. After the conversation, I was like, man, you're right. Like, I need to be asking more people. I'm already like turning out like 5 a week, but it's like, but then now I keep going.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Like, the gain train don't stop.
It's stuff, like, it's crazy because when you're in the industry, like any industry, like, and when you set a goal and then you break it down to like daily stuff, it's like, damn, I go to the grocery store every day. I see a bunch of people. I go to dinner every day. I see a waiter. I see a bunch of people. And I'm just like, stuff that I do every day, I'm not even advertising my business or myself. I said, successful people advertise their stuff all day long. So it's nothing but passing out a card. The way you talk to somebody, the way you shake their hand, the way you say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, whatever, people, that goes a long ways. Because there's times you don't even have to pass that card out. You say, well, how you doing today, sir? And you have a conversation. Hey, what is it that you do? And they get to telling you, okay, well, I'm a barber. I got barbershop right up the street. This and that. If you can carry a conversation, people will come and mess with you.
Oh, always. Like the fact that you're intuitive enough and you listen, because I think that's what it shows. It shows that you're aware, that you're conscious, that you are paying attention to somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
And that value, I think, is I don't know if it's gone or if it's leaving, but it's extremely valuable, right? That's all that sales is. It's like, how can I communicate with somebody and then give them the thoughts that I have in an effective way that they can grasp, and move forward, right? And then either make a sale, either I'm selling. Everything's sales.
Yeah.
You're always selling yourself. Like you have this presentation, this body, your mannerisms, the way you speak. You're selling yourself every single thing, and all the little things too. It's like, how do I text somebody whenever they're coming to the house, right? And I give them a detailed message. What do we say? What happens whenever we get to the house? Right?
Yeah.
The house is clean, the restroom's done. Like all the details are going to be taken care of. Because that's the presentation and that's who I am. That's what the level of standard we're willing to accept.
Yeah. And so like me and someone, like kind of how you were talking, like me and someone were, one time we was joking because they used to say he always look mad. And I'm like, bro, I'm the same way, looking like, I look like I'm always mad, like, like harder approach, Yeah. But then when you approach us and it's just like, damn, like the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, like, it's different, and it's just like, what's the way you were raised? You can't control how you look, but you can control what you do and how you speak to people, and you can the level of respect that you give to other people, you can control that. But not every, like, you can go get plastic surgery, and all that other stuff, but like, nah, like you can't control how you look. Like if they look like, oh, you're hard to approach, like, okay, well, until you approach that in person, then it's like, okay, well, damn, like you really are cool.
Or you really are hard to approach, right?
Yeah, it's one or the other. Yeah, you're one or the other. But
like you have, like, I love going to like I like getting samples at HEB.
Oh yeah.
And like the ladies are, they're always just bored. Like, we have a one whatever. Hi, how are you doing? How was your day? And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Who is this guy? And they're like, what's going on? What are you serving? Oh my God, that's so good. Like, and then you give them a little bit of joy in their day, and then it carries.
And they carry to the next person and the next person. And I think that's what, and that's why I am like I am, because like I'm trying to make an impact. Like I live in this community. This is my community. Like I wanted to be great for my kids, when they grow up. So it's like, how you even when kids are acting up, like when I go speak to these kids, I really get on these kids, like sometimes, like, and I let them know, like, because y'all think y'all are stuck in a cycle where you think you can't do this, but you really can, and I'm living proof that you can do this, but you got to apply yourself and you got to want it,
I am it's nice to meet someone else, and I think. So my high school, 1% of the population goes to college, and then less than 1% of that population, of that 1%, graduate. And I have my master's degree, I have my undergrad, my master's, published research, competed for Team USA. It's like, the reason I did it and the reason I'm still doing it is to show people you can do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter we're come from this place. We're 94% below the poverty line. You can do it.
Yeah.
Right? There are people out there, and I think that's the coolest part. There's people out there that are willing to help, that can help, that can give you a good information. There are people in my life that have assisted to. I would not be here today if it was for a lot of those people.
It's like that bank earlier. Like this bank didn't give me an opportunity, but this bank did. So there is people out there but you will never know if you never go and seek. Because as a kid growing up, when you get told no so many times, like you think like, damn, like I don't want to go and be told no as an adult. Because sometimes it's embarrassing, and you don't have the credit, you don't have the income, you're not doing taxes right, you're not doing this right, and when somebody tells you no, it's like, it's like a degrading type.
It can be hard, and it can be like, like one little I let one little failure add, right? And then it's just like, oh man, I don't have the right equipment.
Yeah.
I don't have the right computer. And then it's like, well, I got to save to get what I could have saved faster, right? Did I need to go out as much as I did? No. But I was like, well, I want to go out and I want to be able to do this podcast, but
Yeah.
like it's going to take me 6 extra months to buy a new computer. And then when it should have only taken me 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Right. It's just my priorities weren't straight in line.
In this line. Yeah. And then like even to like now, like I was telling one of my friends, we were talking yesterday, and I was like, bro, this podcast, because I'm doing a podcast. I don't know if you know
I heard
about that. But
what's it called?
It's called Cuts and Conversations.
I love it.
So it's just like
in the chair.
You get in the chair, you know, and it's just recording of just stuff like, because what really motivated like to start recording is because everybody was like, bro, like if you had footage of like what you done so far, like from the barber battles to the working in the barber shop to the business, to molding the business, to changing the way people look at the industry of barbering, like if you were recording that stuff, bro, a documentary would be lit. And I know my brother, his name is Melvin Bowser. You know, he's been doing the movie thing and stuff too. And you know, so he's always motivating us, like, bro, like do this, do that, like go for it. Because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna tell you no, or you're gonna fail. But if you have the mindset that like I can't lose, you're not gonna fail. Like you're gonna make it work.
You will continue. Like I bought, it was like the next thing, and then you get so involved and you learn along the way of what does and doesn't work.
What doesn't work,
right? And then you just get to figure out, okay, how I'm gonna make this process so clean and smooth that we're gonna walk in here, we're gonna turn it on, and people are gonna be like, oh shit, like we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Like okay.
So it's like I study, like I say, people would send me people's podcasts. I'm like, bro, you need to do this, or you need to do this. And I watch a little bit of it, and I'm like, okay, I like this, this, and this. I didn't like this. So I'm taking what I like. So how I do my podcast is like I've got a green screen. I don't know if people have seen it. I got a green screen.
It's a little different,
so
for sure.
We're just cutting conversations in front of the green screen, but my background can change based off of who you are as an individual. If you're a coach, we're at Kyle Field. If you're a basketball coach, we're in Reed Arena. You know, if you're a quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, like we're there. Like, you know, all my friends that I've known there was one time I had 27 players in the NFL that I cut, but where's the footage? I got the pictures, but like, bro, it's like I could be so far up here, but I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking about growing this business, not doing for myself. And my mindset was always, let's grow this business, take care of these people who's taking care of me. But in that vision, that tunnel vision that I had, that I lost this little focus that I could have done on myself, because we could have been doing this already, cut some conversations. But I was like, damn, like I'm behind the game. So I was like, I want my shit to stand out.
I think that though maybe like in like you said that earlier, like don't you wish you would have started earlier? Mm-hmm. And part of me thinks, like I said yes, but part of me thinks like no, like I wouldn't have been this guy.
As great as I am now. That's like the same thing when I was supposed to go back to school. So when I opened my barbershop, I left Funky Chevaux, instead of me sending people to somebody else in the city and I don't get no return from that money, I said, you know what? Let me create a team that I can put people on, and I still get some of that money. You know, I said I'm gonna open up the shop, and then I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna leave my clients with somebody, and I'm gonna go back to school. I was supposed to go back to school in 2016. I didn't go back. It took about almost 2 years to go to school when I wanted to, and then I didn't open the school till 2020. But everything happens for a reason. The same way that we got denied I got denied twice before on that 2,500 square foot shop before I got it. I got a call one day out the blue and was like, hey, the last tenant, she's not going to no longer renew her lease, this and that. Do you want to take over it? And I told my dad about it, and we talked about it, and we went to go see the landlord. And he's talking to my dad the whole time. Boom. I have a conversation with my dad. Boom, boom. And my dad's like over the head. Like, whoa. Yeah. Well, you need to be talking to him. Like, this is his business. You need to be talking to him. And then he was like, okay. So he thought he was talking to my dad the whole time because we have the same name. Like you can't. There's no junior, and so there's no way to tell us. We was at the bank yesterday, and she was like, how do you tell you guys apart? And I was like, social. That's it.
That's funny. Why did they give you a junior?
I don't know. I never asked. Well, I think we talked about it one time, but no. My dad just didn't give me a junior.
Go for it.
Oh no, you got it.
Your energy reminds me of Buzz.
Oh, that's my dog,
dude.
Buzz is my dog. Like Kevin Sumlin. We still talk every now and then. I still keep in conversation with Joey and Jackson, and then Charlene. Like she used to check on the girls because like her girls are older, so she just kind of like got attached to our kids, and I always wanted to check on the family.
That's cool.
But when I started cutting Buzz, like he put the barbershop in the locker room. Kevin Sumlin did it. Buzz put the barbershop in there.
That's insane to me. I mean, that's the coolest shit, but also just like you have your own station at A&M to cut hair.
Yeah, and that's like that was crazy. Like Kevin Sumlin got me the Adidas deal. And then well he set it up.
What Adidas deal?
So I was with Adidas. I worked with Adidas, so every time Adidas did anything in Texas, like they would call us. So I'd work with. It was crazy because we were just driving, and Ryan Lacey had called me, and I was like, damn, I started crying, like, because when somebody says you made it, like I was like, damn, like I think we finna get a break,
Dude, that's
like,
huge.
Like we was going through like a lot at that time, young parents, we lived in a trailer house, but we did the right thing with the trailer house and stuff, My parents owned the land and stuff, so we stayed there. It was we didn't have a lot, I grinded so much, and then so when I got that call, like, hey, this is Ryan Lacey with Adidas, this and that. We heard about you, and I was just like, well, who?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy deal, and I was like, damn, like this. So we got like I brought my boys on, like I brought Jeff and John.
No shit.
Yes,
dude,
I brought
God.
like I could have brought people thought I was gonna. My wife was like, "Damn, you gonna ask these guys, or you gonna ask Luis?" And Luis is my business partner, who I created Goldstar Barbers with, who done but he's in Zapata and I'm in College Station. Zapata's on the border.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, like you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but at the same time too, it's like this the future. This is who this, because so we're doing business now, but before, like he was doing this thing, and then he got TDK. So he did TDK McAllen and then TDK Mercedes. But before he owned TDK, he was working for Dave at TDK, and it was like, well, Luis got his own thing. TDK, they got their little vision. They got their team. Yeah. It's like I need to be creating my team. So I asked JB and Jeff instead of asking Luis and June, to do it.
Dude.
Yeah.
I can't imagine getting that call, like that's...
Yeah, bro, I broke down, like I was like, damn, like...
It gives me fucking chills sitting here, dude. Like, I can just, like, I think about that time where, like, I got my first letter to compete for Team USA, and I was like, it's real? Like... I'm gonna go.
You thinking like you think like this? Is this like a hoax? Yeah.
It seemed like it seems so surreal. It's like all of this work and there's this thing at the end of it, and it's like you made it, but then but you're not really, you haven't really made it because now you got to show up.
Yeah.
Now you got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Now you just qualify.
And we cut Bryce Young, DJ from Clemson, Ohio, Sam Howell from North Carolina. Like all these guys are in the NFL now. Like we cut the top 100 players in the U.S. Like it was crazy, bro. Like you're cutting them and putting them on your social media. Your followers are going up. Like everybody's Spencer, a Rattler from he was at Oklahoma. Now he's at South Carolina.
Have you always worked with athletes? I mean, I feel like athletes always get cut. Like they always look crisp.
Well, I didn't. I like in style I wasn't, but then once my name when Instagram kind of got a little bit of buzz, I started hashtagging everything. Texas A&M, to A&M football, like everything, and I was just only focused on football because that was a sport I loved. So I really didn't know these other athletes that was coming into the shop and getting cuts from me, and I was like, damn, like that was such and such, or that was, and my clients were kind of, he's like, bro, that was just, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that because I was so focused on football because that was a sport that I loved, and then then growing up, it's crazy because I was a UT fan. Like I was a diehard Texas
Same.
fan, bro.
Same.
Diehard Texas fan.
Young, you mean you got
It's just
McCoy.
everybody loves Longhorns, and I was a diehard Longhorn. I know the ins and out, And then when you start cutting these people, and you start cutting their hair, and then it goes from you being a fan of a sports team to you building a relationship with an individual that you want to see successful. So it's no longer about sports anymore. It's about making sure, it's about rooting for the person who's coming and sitting in your chair, and you want to see him be successful. So when people say, oh, well, who's your NFL team or who's your college team? Like, my friends. My friends are who's playing on Sunday is who I'm rooting for, my friends. It's crazy because like people would talk mess and argue, but I was like, bro, like, I was like, oh, you an A&M fan? I was like, bro, you still a Longhorn fan? Like back and forth. I was like, bro, like I was like, bro, like you're rooting for a university, like you're rooting for a team. Like I understand like how it is, but I was like, bro, you have no ties to that school. Like I'm rooting for individuals to do good. Like every A&M thing that I got, I think, like maybe for some beanies, but pretty much every A&M thing I got, I mean, it's love. Like, here's a shirt, here's some shoes, here's some tickets to the thing, and it was never bribing. It was just all like your family, like we mess with you, like,
I feel like you can definitely. It's. I said earlier it's about the sale, but it's about the relationship.
The relationship every all day long, like all day long. People say, man, like I've been cutting people from ESPN when college football games day here. You want them to do good because they bringing big people in to the city when the team's doing good, like college football game day. Like, you got Von Miller coming back. You got Mike Evans coming back. You got all these people. You got Desmond Howard, Tim Tebow, Ryan Leafy, George Whitfield. Like you got all these people coming back to the city, and you cutting their hair.
All those guys are back here now?
No, but I'm saying from when A&M's doing good, college football game day.
Yeah.
Those people work for college football game day. You got Marcus Spears. I was cutting Marcus Spears. NFL. He works for NFL Network now. He was on ESPN. Championship with LSU. And D-line for the Cowboys.
There was somebody said that it was just being a barber.
Bro, I had an argument one time with some people when COVID happened, and it was like, oh, barbering is not a real profession. And I was like, well, damn, how is it not? And it's like, oh, well, y'all don't got 1099s. I mean, y'all 1099 contractors, y'all don't got a 401k, y'all don't got benefits, this, and that. I say, nah. I said, I'm disciplining you not. I said, they take it out of your paycheck because you're not disciplined enough to do it yourself. I said, I don't do that. I get all my money. Then I do my own deductions, and I don't let nobody withhold nothing from me because I do it myself. And I said, the world stopped. I said, you don't got a job. I said, they still calling me for haircuts, police officers, and we can't be cutting hair. Politicians, but we can't be cutting hair. Right? Coaches. Everybody, right? And then when the world stopped, they created this bubble in Orlando somewhere. The NBA bubble.
Okay.
Right.
NBA bubble?
And they had 8 barbers and 6 stylists there. And how many people did they have that? I said, but this not a real profession. But the world stopped and the sports is still going and they still need who?
You gotta look clean.
We're essential.
You guys really are essential.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
yeah.
If we didn't have people doing hair, like, we would all look ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Think
nasty.
about it.
Nasty.
Think about it. If you're in the service of business and you're not keeping up with your personal grooming, like, how are you going to be a face of somebody's business thing? You don't look like you don't look like, if somebody walks into my business and you don't look presentable.
I think it's the responsibility of, if I have a client, it's my responsibility to carry myself the best that I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
That means sleep. That means working out. That means a cut.
Yeah.
That means shoes. Everything comes together
Yeah.
because that is what you are getting. It is a holistic idea. It is not like, oh, I'm only really good at this.
Yeah.
It's like, no. I need people to help me with these things maybe, but I can't do my own hair.
Yeah.
But I know somebody who can. And I know that what I'm looking for is the highest tier quality stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to find the highest tier quality
Because you think
stuff.
about it, if you're investing to yourself, can I allow you, or can I make sure, like, can I rely on you to be investing into this business? If you're taking care of yourself, can I rely on you to take care of this business? And that's what these people are thinking. Like, you gotta put yourself in other people's shoes to think about, if I own this multi-million-dollar company, would I hire me? That's how you got to think about stuff. And I tell people all the time in my business, like, cool, like, I want you to be comfortable, but if a business opportunity walked through this door and you didn't get it the way, because of how you presented yourself and looked, then that's on you. That's not on me. And if they come to me and I get the opportunity and you didn't get it, don't be mad at me.
You made the most with the opportunity you had.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it's not even like you create your own luck, right? Like
all the time.
You did all the right steps, and then now the person or the opportunity is in your face, and you're already prepared.
Yeah.
So people say it's luck. It's like, I've been preparing.
I've been grinding, like, I've been working at it, because I hate when somebody says, "Damn, must be nice." Nah. You just see the big picture. You don't see the tedious things that it took and that led up to this, to what I'm doing, that you're telling me, oh yeah, it must be nice.
You don't see those late nights. You don't see me grinding.
You don't see the times that I'm away from my kids, my wife, my family. Like, I lost a lot of my oldest daughter's life. Like, think about it. Like, bro, at being a barber or a stylist, like, you're there for other people's weddings. You make their day. Like, you set the tone for their weddings, their anniversaries, the birth, like, everything, for everything. And then when the one time that you're not there for them, then some people they lose their shit, and then they get mad. But then you're sacrificing this for your family, for your kids, the soccer games, the being late to the birthday parties, the family functions that, oh, I gotta work, like, go to Thanksgiving with your family, I'll be there later on. Like, do those things, because when you think about it, if you're in a relationship, you get 2 Thanksgivings, you get 2 Christmases, you get all that stuff, because somebody's family is doing it on a different day, while somebody's family's doing it on a day that your family's doing it, and you're making it for your family, but are you really making it for your in-laws' family, that side of the family? And I miss a lot of that stuff. So it's like, yeah, some people say, okay, well, then we don't fuck with him because he don't fuck with us. But it's like, damn, like, I had to work, like, I'm not fortunate to come from nice things. To have all this where I don't have to work. If I didn't have to work, I wouldn't have to work. I wouldn't go to work, but I have to work.
But you wouldn't be this guy.
I wouldn't be this guy. Like, all this stuff that I've been through, and that, the love, the hate, everything. Like, I would never be like, damn, if I can do this all over again, I wouldn't. Like, I would, because it made me to the person that I am today.
Tell me about when you guys started doing. Is it cuts for toddlers?
For the back to school event?
Yeah, the back to school event.
The big one?
Yeah.
It was small at first. It was at a barbershop. Like, we only had Adrian. Adrian he had a roofing company, and, like, the vision was there. It was like, bro, like, we need to do this for the kids. And I was like, let's do it. Like, he's like, I'll pay you guys to do the free haircuts. And I was like, nah, we're gonna just do it. Like, nah, we're just gonna do it.
That's dope. That's cool.
And the first 2 years it was small. Like it wasn't small. It was our clients only, And then I always opened it up to other businesses. And then my first year was small. My second year, opened up to other businesses. It grew a little bit. Then my third year, I met Fabi from iHeart Brian, and then she helped me get it, like, push it. And she had connections within the city. She brought the fire department. She brought the police station. She brought like the city. Like, she brought a bunch of people to come to it. And she's really involved in the community too. And she's for the kids, bro. She loves the kids. Like, tomorrow they got that event. It's called Keeping It Real, and it's for kids too. But
When is it? What is it?
so it's so it's kids who want to who it's kids who sign up. They can go and they can go fishing, like they push outdoor like activities. So Robert Molina, has this company. It's a fishing company, and he's been in the fishing for the past few years. But it's just a hobby for him, and he wants to push it and make it his full-time career. So he's taking little steps, and he's doing like a mentor thing for the kids to teach them how to fish. They provide everything. Texas Wildlife is providing the reels, and they got other local business just giving everything.
I love that.
And we did the shirts, so we printed 100 shirts. So Goldstar Barber Studio printed 100 shirts for them, keeping it real on the front, and got the Goldstar logo on the back. We did sponsor the shirts just for the kids because. It's for me. It's about the kids.
I had never really like worked with kids. Never really had any desire to be like around kids until I started coaching the young gens camp at the country club.
Okay.
And it changed my life.
Yeah.
Like being able to instill knowledge and like teach like emotional intelligence and teach like how do you deal with conflict.
How that too? But even, some people it's like there's teenagers that don't even know how to write a check. And I'm like,
there's a lot of kids that didn't know how to do push-ups or couldn't do push-ups.
Yeah.
Like that was my space. I mean, for sure. But what I got to see was like I'm making these, and I think through fitness, like anybody gets better. Like if you feel more confident, then you're more likely going to ask for that sale. You're
for sure.
Step into that place or that business or ask that girl for that number. Like
Yeah.
you feel good, then you feel
because like working out like I just broke my foot. So I put a little weight on and stuff. So I was like, dang, and these videos, like, you get like a little, not insecure because I love me. But it's like, damn, like I had to put some weight on, like, with cheeks, you see it. But you just got to go back to being disciplined and doing it because now it's like I'm still grinding. I'm still in front of the camera. I'm still doing what I'm doing. But it's like, that's not me. I got to get back to me.
I think if you have an injury, it makes sense. Like, Like you definitely, it's easier to like get down that road and not like feel. I feel like we all go through that, right?
Yeah.
But I think that the idea and the kind of person you are, you're like, oh, I can get back there, and then that confidence is. You can't beat that. You can't replicate that from anywhere else. And so like being able to teach these kids, and I had one kid that was like. Like he came, like was not doing well in school, and then came back that next semester and was like, "Oh, he won like the best student, like the most improved award."
Because they just need that little push, and it's crazy. The reason why I do these back to school events because we talked about earlier. Our prices are a little high, so we're not. It's not that we're not for everybody, but sometimes not everybody can afford the services, right? So I just wanted I love barbering so much that I want everybody to get an experience, to get this feeling at least one time.
Imagine that kid that can't afford it, like
bro. That's why I do it because there's kids that's like, see, mom, like this the haircut, like this is what I want. This is what I've been wanting, mom. Like look. And
that was me, man.
And you're looking at these kids and you're just like, damn, like that's why I do it. And I was like, man, anytime you need y'all want a haircut, come to the barber school. Come to the barber shop. I have somebody who'll take care of y'all.
Yeah, it was like. I remember my dad always cut our hair. Like that's all we could do, and I would always like go to school and see these kids like with fades and with highlights. I was like, man, like I want to do that. And then I'll never forget, like I got highlights 2 years after everyone else. Like we could finally do it.
Yeah.
And everyone was already out of it.
I'm
the kid with the highlights. Like that's old. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit.
I see that a lot too. Like and they miss the trend, but that's just like I tell them, and you see it now. Like the trends are coming back, like the mullets. But now you got the perms, and then they got the curly, and you got the Edgar cut, which, I'm talking about the all that really really long hair, and it's like all those trends are coming back, and you see it. But these kids are just following the trends. But if you can lead them to the right thing, like they're gonna follow the right too. And that's why I'm trying to work with Brian ISD. It's because I do so much for the community. It's for the youth. It's not for me. Like. We give out, and this what sucks about when you do nice stuff. There's always somebody who has something to say. It's like, oh, they're only doing that for the clout. Okay, well you give out $6,000 worth of haircuts to somebody. You pay 6,000. You pay 10,000 in services. Like think about that.
Yeah.
For the clout, like it's not for the clout. It's because there's people really that are really out there that don't have it.
You leave an impact that changes a kid's. I think that you can change a kid's life after that one thing. They come to that first day at school and they have that. You guys give backpacks too, right?
We give out backpacks, school supplies, free haircuts. We give out food. We gave out shoes. We had a lice. We did a lice check, and we had vision. We had visions one time. Everybody we cross promote with. We had snow cones. We had snow cones, and then they gave out candy, cotton candy. That we had a lot of stuff but it's people who that same vision, and they volunteer their time to do stuff. Like April 2nd, we're doing an Easter egg hunt for the kids, and it's just like, hey, if you got a business, bring us some eggs, and we put your logo on a flyer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you have that? Like, did you see that growing up? Like, was that around, or was that?
Nah, it wasn't. It was just like feeding off of clients. Like, because think about it, like, you got a lot of clients that come into the barbershop, and nobody really knows about their business. I'm like, hey, like, come to these events with us. Be the face. Show your face, and then people would, people adapt to people that they know more than people that they don't know. Like, it's times where people is like I might want to go get a massage, but I'm gonna go to somebody who I know and compose who I don't know, because, and
I want to give them give them my money,
Yeah,
I want them to be successful.
Like, and that's what I'm big on. Like, I'm big on like small businesses, mom and pop restaurants. Like, I'm big on stuff like that, because I know what it's being a business owner in the community. I know how long. Think about it. How many kids, our parents or kids, ask us to sponsor to whatever they got going on, and we a lot of times do it. But if you go ask Chick-fil-A, if you go ask Walmart, if you go ask Amazon, you go ask Best Buy, how many things are they sponsoring?
I don't know the answer to that question.
They're not really sponsoring that much stuff, because they're asking mom and pop businesses like us, because they see us, they know us. Because think about it, like, how do you get in a hold of the owner of Best Buy, the owner of Amazon? How do you get a hold of
Bezos?
Yeah, how do you get a hold of those people to sponsor stuff in our community?
Yeah,
you really can't. So, like, spending money in the community, it goes longer. It's deeper than just making that purchase.
It's much more real.
Because we can put it back, we can invest back into the community too.
You can see it, and I think I talked to my brother about it. He was getting mad about like how big business is like that the way to go, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, man, if you have somebody who like makes it and works their ass off and makes money, and then like has these nonprofit or like they do these sponsorships for these people, then you don't need that. You don't need them to maybe use your taxes in the right way, right? Like, you take control of it, and don't let somebody else take control of what you want to see and hope that they get there 1, 2, 3, 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
You can put it together, because there's people down the street that are thinking the same thing, that you can just ask them a question. Hey, yes or no? No? Who do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes a long way. It's just like, you can find somebody who has that vision, but doesn't know where to start. And when y'all just help each other out, and then it just grows. And that's where, like, that's why the back to school, we do back to school, like Christmas, we do toy drives. We do so much, but some of the stuff doesn't jump like other stuff, because it was like, we didn't have the team. We had the time and we had the materials, but we didn't have the team or the person to help to get it out there, to make it jump like the vision wanted to jump.
That's hopefully the idea with this, man. Like, the more that I talk with like small business owners and even large business owners, right? Like put somebody on a map. Mm-hmm. Like, that's two different things. I get to have a conversation with somebody that you get to learn, you get to have a conversation, you get to build a relationship. Yeah. But then also at the same time, people are listening, people are watching. Like, they get to know who you are. Yeah. And it's
so on my podcast, like, since I have that platform now, like, I've been cutting hair for like 12 years now, 12 years now. 13. And some of these people been with me for 10 plus years. So to see where they're at, where they were at, to where we are now, like I got finance managers, I got accountants, friends that are accountants, mortgage lenders. I got all these people that I can ask because I know where they came from, that I can, hey, let's share your story and then let's educate. Let's share your story, then let's educate, because there's so many people out here that don't know how when you go by, okay, I bring a finance manager in, or I bring a car salesman, and one of my friends that work one of these businesses, all of them, I got somebody everywhere, so they can get all different views. Okay, what are some of the what is some of the things that somebody who wants to be a first time car buyer want to go, and what are some things that they should know when they go to the dealership? Some questions to ask. What should they do to go there? Because if their vision is to get a car, if their vision is to get a car for $300, but now you send them home with a $200, like, no, I didn't go there for that. I want there. So now I got to spend money on something I don't want.
Real education. Not like, let's learn about what happened. Like, I get that there's value in learning what happened in 1607. I like understanding history and how it repeats itself. There's like, I get it. But at the same time, like, why are we also not teaching about physical health, mental health, like talking about how to change your oil, how to cook and clean,
all that little stuff. Like I was talking to my cousin who's a vegan, and just listen to like how eating right has helped him, like his insides, like, because he like the every time he eat before I would quick have to go to the bathroom, feel bad, I feel horrible, and then we start eating right. Well, it started being when he became a vegan, right? Everything changed. Like, he doesn't have to go back. He's comfortable. Like, he's like living life. Like, looks healthy. Happy person. Like, all that stuff. And it's just like, well, if we're just educated the right way, like, we can change a lot of stuff.
And not being fed just a bunch of like stupid stuff like Kylie Jenner. Can't like that. Like, I don't really pay attention to it, so I don't know very much about it. But it's like shoved down your throat, and all this like negativity.
The rap music that people play is just like, dang, like kids killing kids, but what are they listening to? Like, you sit there all day. Then some people think about when you're at a movie, right? And then you like the movie's so intriguing. Like, it might be like, I don't know. You see Mayor of Kingstown?
No.
You ever heard that? All right. So there's different movies about different things. Or like Grand Theft Auto, like.
Yeah. No Grand Theft Auto.
And people think they can just really do that in real life, And so, but some people think that, and they go out there and do that because it's what they're taught and what they're seeing and what people are just doing, and they're just pushing and pushing, and then now your brain is starting getting repetition. Like, damn, now I think it's okay, when it's really not.
But then you see people like you that are in the community, from the community,
trying to do positive,
They're trying to do good things for the community.
Yeah.
Like and accomplishing them.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we do it, man? Like that. Like, I've always wanted to go back. Like, how did you get started doing like teaching stuff for like going back to like the schools and like giving information to the kids? Like, when did you start?
Well, when I got asked to do my first barber class, and that was it was crazy because and the reason why I opened a school in San Antonio, because it was like kind of like destined. I opened a school with Joe Barber, and he was like the first guy doing hair portraits. I opened a school with him, but it was like a little history. The first class that I went to, Pacino's class, he was there. The first bar battle that I competed in, it was his. And I got thrown out there from my friend Luis, remember I said was in Sabata. It was like, bro, it's like, people see me from Instagram. It was like, bro, like, you need to be competing in this freestyle battle. And I was like, nah, I'm just here for support. And they was like, nah, bro, nah. Like, because I used to stutter a lot. Like, I still stutter now, but I used to be bad back then. I used to get nervous. My hands get sweaty. Like, nah, like, I'm not going to talk in front of a lot of people, or be in front of a lot of people either. At bar battle was a lot of people.
That's crazy. That's cool.
They just threw me out there. And then I was like, bro, I don't even got no clippers. He was like, bro, you can use my clippers. And I was like, damn. He was like, bro, I don't got no motto. And he was like, bro, look. And he's real. My friend is like real enthusiastic. And he's like, bro, dude, look, you just back of my head. And I'm just like, oh. I'm looking at my wife, and she's like, well, he is right.
You can't say no.
So I was like, fuck it, I did it. And I didn't even win the battle, but But it was just like, dang, like I got the experience. So when my next battle came in, I was not nervous. It was like just doing my thing like I was in a barbershop. And then from there, like I became successful from barber battles. Like I won all over. I've been on 2 TV shows. Like I done a lot in competing. And then somebody asked me to do the class. And I was like, heck yeah, I'll do the class. And then like how I've been running my business, Lacey, the lady barber, she asked me to do a class at Armstrong McCall and it was in Corpus Christi, and I was like, yeah, I'll do the class. So she was the first. So Joe and Eric Zuniga were the first to put us on like doing a class, but we did like a combo class, and I was like real nervous and stuff. So Luis pretty much did the whole class while I just held the light. I just held the light because it was kind of dark. And then, but then I got comfortable, working in the barbershop, being behind the chair and stuff like that. Then I started liking it. Like I was like, man, this is cool. Because think about it, like if I can help other people, like achieve what they want to do with the haircuts and then now build confidence in them to give good haircuts out. I was like, dang, like people would thank me like, dang, like I thank you for what you showed us. Like you broke it down so easy, so simple. Now I can charge more. I can go up on price, this, and that. And I was like, man, like it made me feel good inside. So I was like, what? I think this is my calling.
Do you have different, so you said like you said chapter 1, chapter 2. Do you get to create your own curriculum inside your school?
Well, so I use the curriculum that I use is My Lady, but eventually like the goal is to create and the reason why how I teach from experience. So like I teach from real life experience. I went to barber school twice. I never seen none of my instructors cut hair. I said, you know what? When I open my school, I'm gonna show my students great haircuts all day long. I'm not gonna cut corners. I'm giving real information out, because these are my regular clients that I'm cutting, and I'm cutting on a high profile people for my students, like not just the regular person coming in, quick cut, and then our conversations that we're having with each other, and it's just like more motivation for the students. And then they see, okay, when they pull out that money and they boom, it's like, damn, you got that in 30 minutes. And it's just like, and it's just motivating them. And then that's like people say playing Call of Duty, that's their thrill in the hunt. Like my thrill in the hunt is sitting back at my chair. I walk around the school. Hey, put a 1 on that right in there. Put a 2 on it right there. Use your shears, blend that. Take that up to a 6. Hey, dude, clipper over comb right there. Hey, the edge up's a little off. Touch that right corner, and I'm just walking around the school, and that's my thrill. That's my video game, I'm just killing it. And then when you see them, and when they start getting good, and they're like, "Hey, Mike, look at this," and that's just like for me, that's just what builds me up, and I'm just like, yeah, like I'm just creating.
I want to see you in that space.
Yeah, man, I'm moving, and I'm a busybody, so it's just like, I might be cutting hair. But how I mold how I put people in different places is like I can see this one. I know who's where, so I know who needs help more. So I put them in where I can see them, and then the people who don't need who got it now. Okay, I put them where I can't see them.
The best teachers are the ones that have already done it. They know all those small things. Man.
And I'm teaching I'm teaching everything. I'm talking about credit. I'm talking about, how to get a deal. I'm talking about, buy a house, car, client retention, how to make $3,200 a week, how to make $4,200 a week, how to upsell your service. I'm telling you the history of barbering. Like I'm instilling myself into these individuals because think about it. When somebody says like, damn, you cut hair really good. What barber school did you go to? Oh, I went to Goldstar. Or people say, damn, who you out here messing people up in the barbershop? Who barber school you went to? Oh, I went to Goldstar. What side of the fence you want to be on?
You get to control that, right?
And I got control that. And then so now it's like, okay, what can I do? And I'm doing this podcast, right? But I'm switching, I'm shooting it 3 different ways. So I'm telling myself there's no reason you can fail if you got 3 routes to take. I'm interviewing cuts and conversations. I'm using the green screen to instructional videos on YouTube. And then now I'm shooting my own stuff in my own school. So now I'm streaming my own videos all day long. So I'm like, okay, well, you can't fail.
You can't. You're everywhere.
unless you allow yourself to do it. Even with the podcast, like, okay, if they're not paying attention to the conversation that we're having, okay, well, damn, that's a badass haircut. He killing that cut. How can I see more of that cut?
Yeah.
Damn, that background is dope. And so you're intrigued by something that's going on in that video. And that's what I do is I always try to say, what is going to set me apart from somebody else? Because I don't need to be competing with somebody for the same clients. Like, I got to go be doing that next thing or that next thing. Like, even when you open a business, there's market price, it's above market price, and it's below market price. I'm always above market price because sometimes I got to show love to get some clients or to show love, to customers. So I can drop that above market price to below market price, and I'm at market price. But when I'm already below market price, and I got to show love, then I'm losing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be losing because then I got to be overworking. And I'm like, I already did all that grinding. Like, I got to be here. I got to be here to drop it here. I can't be here and drop it down there.
Not going back there.
Nah. So if you want to race to the bottom, cool. Race yourself to the bottom. If you want to say, okay, well, we charge 33 for a cut. Oh, we charge 30. Or we charge 29, 28. Okay, cool. Charge that. I'm just going to keep putting these people up to keep charging more because now I don't mind paying an extra $5 for a cut if it's a good cut.
I think it's part of it is the cut, but part of it is walking in and saying hi to everybody.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, how's everybody doing?
And the first thing when somebody walks in the door and they greet you, hey, welcome to Goldstar. That's a game changer because when you walk in a barbershop and everybody looking at you and they go back down and they cutting hair, you don't even feel welcome.
That's not a good feeling.
And then you walk in and Goldstar, hey, welcome to Goldstar. And you're like, hey, how you doing? And then you hear that beat or that music and you're like, oh, shit. And they say, you want a beer? You want like anything to drink?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, beer? And I had clients like, oh, y'all do that here? And it's just like, and it's a vibe. And you sitting there and you just like, damn, like this nice.
It is a vibe. I love all the matching chairs, all the new chairs.
We just did that. Yeah, we just did that. And so it's in all the shops. Yeah, but Goldstar, you gotta have them.
You gotta have them.
You gotta have them.
Dude, I walked in one day and I was just like that uniformity. It looks crisp. Just like a nice mid fade or ball fade where you're just looking and you're like, ooh, like that looks good. Same thing. You walk in and that's what you're getting. Like that presentation is what you're getting. Down to the stickers on the door. Yeah. Like
we got an app. And the app store is and the app, it's called a Goldstar Barber Studio. Okay. And then boom, it pops up and it's Goldstar in the app.
I'll have to
the app store. That. Google, we got an Android and Apple.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so and it's I'm just a visionary and whatever makes it because it was convenience of the service, and then it was no wait barbershop, so it's always something like to keep people like coming in. And then so that's how we won Best of the Brazos Weirdest Choice every year that we've been open. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we be grinding but our insane. Clientele is it's very diverse because we made it okay for women to bring their kids to the barbershop. Because before, them ladies was dropping their kids off in them back. That's what back then people had them signs that say, "Don't leave your kid unattended," or this ain't a daycare. Yeah, but now we don't see them signs no more because we built that comfortable level where people. Because I had girls in the shop who was cutting too.
Harley does a good job.
Holly. Before Harley, it was Holly. Marisol. I have. Lex, I brought people up, and it was just like we made it okay for women to bring their kids to the barbershop.
I mean, to have that level of comfort, to have a lady walk in there and feel confident and comfortable, it's huge. And then I feel like
I got my mom in the front too. So
is that who? That is?
Yeah. Okay. I got my mom in the front, and people, man, it's all love. Like that's Mama Mel.
I can see it now. I can see it now.
We look like we did that face swap on Snapchat, man. It looked we look just alike. Yeah.
Well, what do you got going on in the coming future? You said you always set goals.
Yeah, I always have goals. So now I'm working on personal goals. I got a few personal goals. I want this podcast to jump. I want my instructional stuff to jump. I do want to focus on opening more schools and getting the financial aid for the students. But I got to build our presence now. So when I go to different locations, I already got a following. They're like, damn, Mike's coming to our city. Like, we need to go in a row. You know, so that's a presence that I'm trying to build now. All right, we got TDK. TDK is growing. We're going to open another location with TDK. The other TDK, there's 9 TDKs.
What's TDK?
So Too Dope. It started off as Too Dope, and then the acronym is for kicks, cuts, or clothing, and then now it's going to be for coffee. Oh shit! Well, it's going to be for coffee too. so we just drop it like we're just being innovators because you just want to create like a positive vibe where you can just come in and just chill out. You know, because for some people think, oh, them expensive shoes, but how many think it's a market for everything? Like, people might like shoes, you might like weights. You know, might got expensive weight system is set up, equipment. You got somebody else who likes books, liquor. You might got somebody else like cards, whatever. Like, that's their memorabilia, and that's their doing. So people who like shoes come in and it's like art for them. You know, and I just want to create a space where it's just like something different from other people, but you can get a haircut there. You know, we get you fresh from head to toe, from shoes, socks, shorts, shirt, hat, beanie, hoodie. I get you fresh from head to toe.
Dude.
Yeah, so that's what TDK is, getting you fresh from head to toe. Too fresh.
Too fresh. That's too fresh. I don't know if I can handle that amount of freshness.
So, the
world can't handle that kind of
TDK
freshness.
right here, like, this TDK. Yeah, so this is TDK.
I thought it said talk, and I was like, that's badass. I was like...
that you can swing it that way? Yeah.
Because I think that there's so much power in the voice, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to talk about it. You got to talk about your story. No one else is going to be talking about your story. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Until they can't stop talking
about it. Because people talk about it in rooms that I ain't ever been in. So that's big. But that's free advertisement. Because when somebody's talking about it, somebody else got to go see what they're talking about. Cool. Do it. Keep it going. Keep it. Talk about it. Let's do some. Let's put these videos in this background and let y'all talk about it. Yeah. You know, let's drop these instructional DVDs and let these students play it in everybody else's school. So when they're playing in everybody else's school, who they seeing? So now when I open a school in that city, it's like, oh man, I should have went to his school.
Still can.
You still can?
Right?
Yeah, you still can.
Do people go to school? You said you went to school twice?
Yeah, I went to school barber school twice. I went to get my barber license and I went to get my instructor license. Damn. But now you don't have to go back to get your instructor license.
You can just start instructing right off the bat?
Yeah, it waters the game down because think about it. People that come and they want to be a barber instructor, and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do this shave and break this. Oh, well, I don't know how to shave. Okay, so how you demanding $18 an hour, but you can't even shave? What your haircuts look like?
Can you tell when?
Oh, I know the ins and outs of barbering. I can tell when a haircut is Photoshop, when that ring light is too bright, and you can see those lines, but the average person can't see those lines. I look at I look at your station. I can break a picture down and tell you what type of barber you are, because I just studied the game. Like that's my passion. So like I know if you've been cutting, how long you've been cutting, what clippers you use. I know what technique. I promise I can tell you. I can break some stuff. I can break some haircut. I can break some stuff down. I'm like, oh yeah, you using the babblers. I can break stuff down because I got 53 barbers. Everybody cuts different. Everybody's personality is different. I got the students. Like even when I'm cutting hair at the school, I'm like, hey, y'all give me the clippers you want me to use for this haircut today. Because it's not the barber, and it's not the tools, it's the barber. It's a technique that you instill. I can cut hair 6 different ways.
The same cut, 6 different ways?
Oh, I can do one side, one technique for you, and the other side a different technique. Okay, y'all want to do open close? Y'all want to cut clipper over comb? Y'all want to do shears? It's going to look the same when I finish. This is my passion. This is what pays the bills. Like, I got the restaurant, I got the bar and grill, I got the food truck, I got the shoes, but it goes back to barbering. Because I know the ins and outs of that. Like, on the back of my hand. And that's why I'm so passionate, because there's people who open a business that have nothing to do with barbering, you know, but then they open this business, a barbershop, and they hire all these people and make all this money off these people, and then y'all turn around and pay them hourly pay. I'm like, nah, y'all go get that commission, go put that work in, and then build yourself up to go to booth rent.
Is that what you guys do? You guys do?
Well, no,
commission and
I do commission, I do booth rent, but you got to take a higher role. But I don't really want a manager. I'd rather have a business partner. Because think about it, if you're a manager, if you manage all these people and you're friends with them, how you gonna tell them no? But now when your money's tied to the business and you gotta tell them no, like bro, you messing up my money too. That's a different ball game right there.
Will you invite new business partners?
I brought Jeff on. I brought JB on. You know, I brought Mitch on, Joe. It's opportunities to grow within Goldstar because think about it. The reason why it was Mike's because I didn't know. I just knew like people. I said you need to clone yourself. Mike the barber. Okay, Mike's barber studio. But then who's gonna buy into Mike's? When I grew up, I was like, okay, who's gonna buy into Mike's? So let me go back to. I was in Miami at a club with some friends. And this guy was like, "Oh shit, bro, you're Goldstar Barbers. What's up? What's up?" And I'm just like, "Oh, bro, what's up?" Like, you know. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm fucking in Miami, and I was like, "Damn, that's just lit." I don't even know this guy, but he knows me. Social media. He's like, "Man, yeah, you and your boy, your boy, what's your L.A.?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, my boy L.A. Barber." And he's like, "Yeah, that's him. And then it was like, shh. I said, so when I came back and I started thinking, I said, if I'm known that over there, I said, let me go back to the roots. Let me go back to what started this, the barber battles, the Goldstar. I was known. My friend is Marcus Hatch. He cuts P. Diddy. He cuts Drake. He cuts everybody. Charging $1,500 a cut.
15.
He made $30K a week.
$1,500
a cut. Yeah, he's P. Diddy's personal barber. He was on Super Bowl commercial cutting Diddy. Yeah, a Super Bowl commercial cutting Diddy, like, and when Diddy was in the studio, and it was like the little scenes, bro. It's Marcus Hatch, bro, and it's crazy because Melvin Bowser, he can attest to a lot of stuff that happened in my career. But when I went to L.A. and I went to Melrose, I was like, Marcus was like, bro, you need to move out here, and then he started telling me about the scene and stuff, and he was like, bro, I'm taking a class over makeup. So I can learn makeup because now, think about it, when they need a barber and then they need a makeup artist, so you could just pay me both. And I was like, damn, bro, you getting it.
All the skills.
And then he blew up. Cut out every artist that you could think of, every rap artist you could think of. Crazy. From barbering, though, it's just a passion that he was, but he invested so much in himself because, I've been on Marcus, and I was going to move out there to Melrose at the Elegant Studio. Melvin, like, had me convinced, but I just opened my barbershop, and I was like, damn, like, I'm going to let these people down. And I was like, nah, I can't do it.
Do you think you made the right decision?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's because your everyday people are your celebrities. Your everyday people who support you, who help you pay your bills, that's your celebrities. So,
that's
for my vision, for my goal, it's like, okay, I'm doing the right thing because my goal is to be able to mentor at least 20 people when I'm 40 and collect residual income of like $500 to $1,000 from each shop, depending on how big I build their shop up. And I don't got to do nothing but just sit back and collect $500 to $1,000 a month from 20 different shops and travel the world. I can be on my laptop traveling the world, just checking on business. Okay, calling, seeing what we got to fix. When I come home, okay, I'll fly to Colorado, check on the shop. Fly to New York, check on the shop. Fly to Cali, check on the shop. Go around Texas. And I'm just checking on the shop, closing, living life.
What I think is really cool is that this is a transferable concept. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're in fitness, if you're in podcasting, if you're in anything. If you put in the time, you get good at the communication, you're good at the skill.
Yeah.
And really get the skill down, you can build something that you can retire.
It's like a skill. As long as you invest in yourself, it doesn't matter where you go. Your value never changes because you have that skill and that asset. But if you work the other route, and then you're a liability, and when it's budget cutting time, are you an asset or you're a liability to that company? Oh, he's been here, but he's a liability, so we gotta let him go. And now you gotta start from the bottom. My skill will never change. I can go to LA, I can go to Austin, I can go to Dallas, I can go to Oklahoma, I can go Miami. My skill doesn't change. And I built so many relationships with so many people is that if I can go to these places and I can have a shop to cut at. So I always have a job. So think about it. You think a robot is? Would you trust a robot to cut your hair?
No.
That might give you a good haircut, but would the conversation be there?
No.
You know, would the experience, all that stuff. I'm in a career where I'm in need, not a want, and I feel like I will have this job for the rest of my life because I don't see them within the next 50, 60 years creating that. Like maybe one day, but it's not going to be like how it is now. You're not going to have that experience. You know, haircut is. I cut hair based off your head shape. Yeah, like the way I line your mustache up, your beard up. You know how it complements your head shape, your facial features. You know, I do all that. I pay attention to all that stuff because that's what separates me from other people. So a robot gonna do all that?
Yeah.
They probably not.
And even if it can, it still doesn't have that personal touch of walking in and saying, "Hey man, how's it going?"
Yep.
You know, like that conversation you get to talk about each other's day and what's going on, where you going this
it's
weekend.
haircut is therapeutic. Like think about it for the average person who's not the business person who's going all day long, shoo, 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 and they're in their phone driving back and forth. But when they're in that chair, you said you fall asleep.
I told Jeff this the other day.
You fall asleep, right?
This is the only time that I get to just sit and just I don't actually fall asleep, but I will close my eyes and it's just the most therapeutic, soothing. Like you're present, but not having to be present. Like it's meditative. It's one of my favorite
and we can have
things.
a conversation if you want. If you don't want to have a conversation, then you can just relax and do your thing. You know, and that's the greatest thing about being a barber. You can have that you can have that conversation, or you don't have to. You know, but it's the way your customer service goes from there on. Because when I was young, I was sports. So my conversation to the businessman was talking about sports. Who didn't even care nothing about sports.
No.
You know,
know your audience, and you get to
learn. You get to learn. I found an electrician, a plumber, you know, a mortgage lender. I found everybody from that chair. So everything that if I needed something, it was in that chair. And when you barter services, you can't go wrong.
I did the same thing with personal training. You know, like you meet doctors, attorneys, like you meet everybody. And then it's like this weird, really cool relationship where it's like, hey, come over for dinner. It's like for sure.
You're in places that are, like I said, I've been in places where I feel like a degree can never have got me, because if I go to like for instance, like if I was doing a certain thing, like Adidas didn't need accountant. They got their own accountant. You know, they didn't need this person. So I was like, okay, well, they wanted the barber, they wanted his team. And it was crazy because when I shot down, I said, "Hey, they're asking for shoe size, pant size, shirt size. What's y'all size?" And it was like, "Bro, what?" It was that shit was lit. Like when I got the call, I was lit. And then when I told them about what they were gonna get, that they were lit. So it was just like, bro, like just to share that feeling with other people is crazy. It's like, hey, you ever had a good drink? You just made me a good drink. You know, somebody else told me about this drink that you made, because you didn't tell me about the drink. Jeff said, "Hey, when you get there, ask for that old fashioned."
That's a good point.
Right? So think about it. So when I started doing this appointment system and I was booked out 3 months in advance, because I was in a barbershop where you didn't know what you was gonna make, and it's easier to be content and have stability, because I know I'm gonna get paid from that 9 to 5. I'm not gonna get paid from this unless it pays off. So I said, you know what? I said, I like to go to work knowing what I'm going to make. I grinded so much in a barbershop. I was like, I missed so much of my time. I took so much time away because this time you can't get back. So I said, you know what? I'm going to mold this industry to fit me, but work for me. Because I really never worked for nobody else. So I said, you know what? I don't know what it's like to really work for. I worked at Shipley's Donuts in high school, and I did flooring. And I did a summer job with my dad's business, but that was it. Then I became a barber. Never really worked for nobody.
Damn.
So I was like, I gotta get it. So I said, well, you don't know what you make. We're gonna make from walk-ins, and it might get busy till 3:00, and then now you gotta stay till everybody's gone, and that might be till 8:00, 9:00 at night, and you've been there since 8 in the morning. So I said, you know what? If there's appointments, I can control what I want to make from 9 to. If I did a goal, I said, you know what? I want to buy a house in a few years. So I broke the goal down. I said, okay, I want to make $2,000 a week. So I said, how much? So how much I got? No, yeah, 2,000 a week. So how much do I got to make a day? How much do I got to make an hour? So when I broke that down, I was like, oh, that's only like six cuts a day. That's easy. So when 6 cuts it was easy, then it went to I was cutting 20 people a day, no lunch break. 20 people a day at $30
Damn.
at 5 days, 6 days a week.
Grind.
But because I was booked out like that, I would be at the barbershop all day with walk-ins, and I'd be tired as heck when I get off of work, and I work the same hours, make more money, and I'll be booked all day, and I'm like, okay, let's go eat when we get off of work. Let's go do something with the kids. Before I was like, oh shit, I'm tired, babe. Like, I want to go. I want to rest my feet. But then when I started doing it this way, making more money, not working as hard, doing stuff with the kids, I had my life back. I said, this is great. I was like, it's like this drink right here. It's like this drink that we're drinking. I was like, man, I want to share this drink with other people. I want y'all to taste this meal with this drink and see what it's like. I want y'all to do this appointment system. I want y'all to look at all this money that I'm making. And I can't make no more because I'm booked all out. So I said, I want y'all to experience this. I want y'all to go get this. And then they believed in the vision. They believed in the dream. And then look at us now.
I mean, how can you not? You know, like, I mean, it was nonstop. You were going to figure it out. And right now I'm listening to a lot of this and like, right, I'm kind of at that time where I'm like, you know, this is it. Yeah. We can either go look for another 9 to 5 or we can figure this out.
If we can figure this out and we can study the market and see what little tedious things that we can do that's going to set us apart from somebody else. And then when you do that and you figure it out, because most of all these creations that people created is they figured it out. And if we can figure it out,
sky's the limit. Then you're doing what you love. Like I get to have
doing what you love.
Get to have like, some homies over, have a drink, share a drink, have a good time, and then just
great
relax.
conversation.
Like,
yeah.
Learn from each other, like you know, and then I think also help each other. It's like, oh, you need someone marketing. Oh,
yeah. I got a market team. Like I just said, hey, well, I don't got, like that's the conversation that my friend Melvin would have. You know, I got this person. I said, man, I want to drop this podcast. I need somebody to do a fire intro, but I want them to be from the city. And everybody was tagging people, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, bro, I got my friend Osa. We were just talking before we walked in the door. I said, Osa, boom. I said, we got to work. Let's work. He said, bro, I've been ready to work. And I was like, okay.
That's the type of community you got. Yeah. Like, that's the type of community, man.
Yeah. And I was like, I said, I'm going to call you on Saturday and we're going to set something up. And we might just have a conversation and I might just show you what I got to see if this is a route that you want to take. And I was like, this intro is going to be on everything because I'm dropping one with Mikado first, then I'm dropping the second one with Buzz Williams, and then I'm going to bring on some other people. And I said, your stuff is going to be on the intro to all this. And he was like, bro, what? Wow. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's work.
We got to talk about some specifics about that. Mm-hmm. I think that we can learn something from everybody off of their own experiences. I think there's these little golden nuggets that everybody has. Whatever you have the floor, you're going to lead us off, and then we're going to go and end the call. But with whatever you feel like you've learned, that you've gotten, that you would like for somebody else to take and that they can learn from too.
Yeah. I would say take the risk. Take the risk 1,000% because the only thing that you can do is fail and then get back up again. So take the risk. I mean, don't worry about what other people say. You have to have thick skin whatever you do. When you fail, they're going to talk about you. When you make it, they're going to talk about you. So take the risk and don't give a fuck what nobody say. Just go out there and do it. Be a doer. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. Just go out there and do it. Take the risk. With no risk, no reward. The worst thing you can do is fail. For sure.
Thanks, yo. Love you.
For sure.